Valentine's Day is coming up and romance is on many people's minds. So how important is Valentine's Day when it comes to building a healthy marriage? Joining us now with more on this is Dr. Gill, a clinical psychologist who specializes in marriage therapy, and he's also the author of the new book, Face to Face, 7 Keys to a Secure Marriage. Dr. Gill, first let's talk about Valentine's Day. What are a few ideas for married couples?
Well, really, when we think about romance, it's all about focused attention on the needs of our beloved. And so the important thing is to track with your significant one, your spouse, and find out what is meaningful to him or her. So think of it more as like a process of connection and engagement as opposed to like a one night this has got to make or break the marriage. So if your spouse is somebody who really is ministered to by words of affirmation, or by extended time together, or through touch. You know, Valentine's might be a great time to give some focused attention on some touch that makes your spouse feel really good.
Well, you point out that it's important not to really get too hung up on Valentine's Day. Why is that?
Yes, as a clinical psychologist and as a marriage therapist, I'm encouraging couples to be building their marriage connection all year long. So we talk about the attachment bond, that's the connection between the two of them. I want to see couples using their skills of connecting and sharing their needs with one another, not just when we come to this very special day, but all year long, building and literally making the love connection that's shared between them throughout the year.
Well, you mentioned attachment. That sounds like a really big term, a big clinical term. Talk a little bit more about it, how it affects the relationship all year long.
Sure. Attachment is a clinical term, but when I share it with people, it makes intuitive sense. Attachment is just God's bonding process that He ordains for us ever since we're little, and then we carry that on from childhood into our marriages. And so it's important, what we all want is something called secure attachment. And what that means is I know that whatever comes up, you're going to be there for me. And so if we have that in our marriage throughout the year, we're going to be in this process of sharing our needs, sharing our feelings, even talking about what we need physically, because touch is a key part of attachment. And that's God's design for us to enrich our marriage. On the negative side, when we are disconnected from our emotional bond with our spouse, that whole rest of the year of marriage can be very tough. People can get caught in some pretty painful cycles where one is feeling abandoned, the other person's feeling kind of shut down or criticized, and they're just missing each other instead of lining up face to face like I talk about in my book.
And that could really snowball too. And really Valentine's Day is a very painful day for many married couples, and they dread it because of the conflict and the hurt, and they don't want to celebrate. What's your advice for couples in conflict? How should they handle Valentine's Day?
Yeah, so for those folks, I mean, I'm still encouraging all married couples to use this as a point of focused attention on your marriage. But if your marriage is in a state of loneliness and disarray and disconnection, maybe this is a point, take some of the pressure off. Like, this night doesn't have to be the thing that fixes everything. Let's be honest about our grieving, but maybe let's take some steps to start to work on the marriage. They could, pick up a great book like Face to Face, 7 Keys to a Secure Marriage, and start that patient, intentional process of investing and learning new things. Some couples, it's a little bit further along than what a marriage book can offer, and so I just encourage those folks, talk to your pastor. Your pastor may, him or herself, have some resources available, but also they typically know some good Christian counselors or Christian psychologists in their referral network who could come alongside you. So if you're hurting, I would say take this as an opportunity to start to bring some healing and some restoration.
Fantastic advice. Once again, the book is called Face to Face, 7 Keys to a Secure Marriage. Dr. Gill, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Laura.